Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Constance, the reader, and today we're going to be going over the June TBR. It's pretty ambitious, if I do say so myself. Just like last month, I am going to be working my way through the manga that I own and trying really hard not to buy any new ones because I replaced my bad habit of buying adult fantasy with paying manga. So we need to get that together. But yeah, I couldn't decide if I wanted to do any readathons. I decided against it and to just worry about the books that I already own, not trying to do anything fancy, just read what I own. And that is what this is what this video will be all about. So let's get right into it. First, I'm definitely going to be reading the next book in the Noodle Shop mystery series, and that is Egg Drop Dead. Murder Comes to a Boil. Still really enjoying the series. I've said it many times. This should be book 5. And great news, I got my sister to read the first book and she liked it and she read it in like a day. So I'm a good influence. I also got my sister to read Scythe and she liked that. She read the whole series. So you remember what was it? Million Dollar Matchmaker. I like the book Matchmaker. Love you, Tiffany. So excited about this one. Obviously, I will be making my way through Burnt Offerings. I already started. I've made it pretty far-ish than I said the last time when I did my wrap up. I've made it to chapter 13. Still really liking it. I forgot all about what this was basically, this is when the council comes to St. Louis because a few books ago, Jean-Claude, Anita, and Richard defeated one of the council members. It was really Anita, but because they killed a council member, you have to replace the council member that you killed. Well, Jean-Claude knows that he's not powerful enough to do that on his own, so they have to deal with the council showing up, but there's also somebody involved. See, Anita works with the police, and she's also working on a case while dealing with the council. And the case is somebody is setting fires to buildings. Eventually something even crazier is going to happen. So glad to remember what this is about. Excited to read it. And I think I mentioned last time in the wrap up, this is when you meet Nathaniel. And if you've read the series before, you know Nathaniel, but excited. Alrighty, so definitely going to be finishing. I'm hoping to read up to volume 20 of Hunter x Hunter. If I can, I'd like to finish the series, but I read 10 volumes last month. I figure I could read 10 volumes this month. I've already read 10 and 11 and 12, I think. So 13 and on, trying to hit 20 for this one. You know, I fell off last month. I had really wanted to read more Bleach last month and it just didn't happen. So I'm gonna start volume 3. I'm hoping to finish the first 10 volumes of the series in what I own. I think I have volumes 1 through 21 or something like that in a box set. So hopefully I can finish this. Well, not finish it. Hopefully I can get to volume 10 because I'm also trying to hopefully finish Nana. So I finished volumes 9 and 10. I did not finish those in the month of May, but I finished them this month. And I definitely want to just finish the whole series. Okay, these last 3 volumes have been thick, but a lot is happening. I'm not going to talk about it yet because I will do a review of the series because Nana is really pissing me off and I'm just getting very tired. But yeah, like I've been able to finish this, like even these thicker volumes, I've been able to finish it in one sitting. And it says the real drama begins. Ma'am, it was beginning in volume 8. Thank you very much. Okay. The decisions that are being made with these young people, terrible. But yes, we'd like to finish this. Not sure if I mentioned this in my last video, but I got approved for the 3rd book in the, actually don't know what the series is called or if it's called anything. We're just going to call it Founderside. So I got approved for the 3rd and final book in the trilogy. I've been meaning to reread this for so long. Shorefall, which is book 2, has been on my TBR since I got it in March of 2020 when it came out. And yeah, I figured, you know what, let me just go ahead and start reading it because I would really like to get better with my rating score on NetGalley, but also I want to read this and just get it done with, you know. So I'm rereading book 1. I restarted it, I think yesterday, and I'm already on I'm really close to chapter 10, I think, something like that. Of course, I lost my bookmark. But so far, really good. And I'm not even that far into it. I totally forgot about Clef. I forgot about Sanchia. So much slipped my mind because it's been so long since I read this book. I mean, I read this, I think, in 2017, 2016, 2017, maybe 2018. Maybe I'm going too far back. I know I read it when I went to a Comic-Con with my friends because it was really hard for me to pay attention to the con because this book got really good. I know, I'm so predictable. So we'll be reading this in the month of June. I hope that I can finish it pretty early on so I can start on book 2. So the hope is definitely to start on, I don't anticipate finishing this hunky chunky book, which is probably 500 pages. Yeah, damn near 500 pages. Don't think I will finish this in the month of June, but I'd at least like to get into it by the month of June. I don't want it to take me a whole month to read Foundry Side, and then I get to this in July. I want to finish this up, maybe get the first 10 chapters read by the end of this month. That way I know that I've got like a good amount of like steam going and can hopefully finish it. So then in July, I will then finish the series. We shall see though. But Shorefall is on the list. Like I said, ambitious, right? One I don't have is, obviously, I'm making my slow, very, 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 very slow run through of Kingsbane as an audiobook. I actually might switch over to just reading the physical book. I just don't know. I'm not really in the mood for it, but I don't want to keep making the same like skim through book choice that I've been doing. I really want to sit down and absorb it. So we shall see. So Kingsbane by Claire Legrand. I really, really want to finish this month because again, I really need to finish this whole series. I also started reading, I don't remember the whole title, Eve Brown, so the Brown sisters, Chloe and Danny. Eve's book is an audiobook on Hoopla, so I just started that. Very interesting. I definitely like Eve as a character. Not sure if I really like her love interest. I've only made it to chapter 4, and so far I really, really don't like who very clearly, I assume very clearly, will be her love interest. I'm not interested. He's like giving me, like, I'm getting the same annoyed feeling I did when we got introduced to Red with Chloe. Danny's boyfriend is the only one I really like. So that's where I'm at. But hopefully I will finish that this month. And hopefully pretty quickly because I can listen to it when I'm driving for work. Next up is a newer book I got called Loaded, A Disarming History of the Second Amendment by Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz. This was recommended on TikTok, and I will put the person's name up somewhere because this person I'm following on Instagram too. So I will not, even though I don't remember their name, I will not forget to put it up somewhere. I'm going to read the back for you guys because I mean, look how small it is. It's so cute. This is like under 300 pages. It's like 200. It's basically about 200, a little bit over, but basically 200 pages. The U.S. loves guns, from Daniel Boone to Jesse James to the NRA and SEAL Team 6. Gun culture has colored the lore, shaped the law, protected the market that arms the nation and the world. In Loaded, Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz peels away the sacred myths of Americans' right to bear arms to expose the true origins of the Second Amendment, specifically the connection between the arming of the earliest Anglo settlers, modern-day policing, and the persistence of white supremacy as a political force, from the nation's origins in slavery and colonization to the current proliferation of mass shootings. Loaded presents an invaluable history of firearms in the U.S. So one of the reasons why this was recommended by the person I followed is because of the recent mass shootings that have just continued since the last two big ones that we just saw at Robb Elementary and in Buffalo at the grocery store. I'm someone who is definitely pro gun reform, regulation, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't get into back and forths with people who are like pro Second Amendment, because as someone who could not give a fuck about the right to bear arms, you know, I feel like I can't engage with people who it's just like, that's your whole personality. But who am I? But I know that it's going to come up. These conversations have to happen. Even though I don't have people in my life who are very like pro-gun like that, they're still gonna happen. And I'd really like to be more knowledgeable and informed on the propaganda machine that has been, you know, gun culture cultishness. And I think this is a good place to start, and that's why it was recommended. So I'm very excited to read this, although the reason that I'm reading it isn't great. Really hate the fact that so many people have died, children, Black people, elderly Black people, everyone. So it's just very sad. Unfortunately, this is the reality we live in, living in America. So it's time to get even more informed and hopefully just verbally get into back and forth with people, because I do not want to have to put the paws on anybody. Okay. Next up in my quest to whittle down my TBR, specifically my book of the month club TBR, I will be reading The Death of Vivec Ogee by Ogee Emezi. So I chose this one because it's shorter. Just like with the Alice Feeney book, I picked it up and I read it very quickly. This one is under 300 pages. I think it might even just be 250. Yeah, it's like 250 pages. I figure that I can read this quickly, but I'm not going to be skim reading it. You know, the thing you do is you just read 50 pages a day or 100 pages a day, or just make sure that by 2 days you've read at least 100. That's my trick sometimes to getting through a book, especially the big ones. But this one I don't think I'm going to have that hard of a time. Now, I don't know exactly what it's about. I think this would be considered literary fiction, and this will be my first time reading this author. So I'm very excited because there's another book that just came out. I don't remember the name of it, but I saw some really good reviews of it. Like, some people on TikTok were saying, this is the best book I've read all year. So this will be my first introduction to this author. I'm very excited, and this may be something I read in June. So I had planned to read this in March. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to it again, because now that I'm looking at it, I'm feeling like, will I read this? I'm not sure. I've got a lot on my plate. But I really wanted to read Manhunt by Gretchen Felker Martin. Even more people are talking about this on TikTok. Like, a lot more people have read it, and it's ending up on people's list of like, this was a great book, blah, blah, blah. I already knew that. That's why I bought it. I was pretty confident this would be a good book. But I'm really, really intrigued and wanting to read it. So again, this is where it's getting ambitious, because I picked this up earlier, put it down. Now I'm trying to pick it up again, and it hasn't been that many months in between. So hopefully I can get to this. And this is another new book that I bought. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, am I going to read this one either? I don't know, because I still have some more manga that I need to read. Like, I still need to read One Piece for what I have. I still need to read Zom 100. I only have the first 5 volumes of Mob Psycho 100. I have the first 3 volumes of Die Dark. I have some volumes of, you know, I'm gonna sprinkle it in. If I start to get in a reading slump, I'll pick up some manga. But A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. So this was something that I've had on my wish list for a while, because this was also on somebody's like favorite books that they read this year. Again, off of TikTok, and I can't remember their name. But yes, that is my very ambitious TBR for the month of June. Obviously, like I said, there's some manga that I did not feature in here that I may be picking up. So you'll see that in the May wrap up and the June wrap up, I'm sure, since I didn't mention it here, in the off chance I do pick them up. Or I might just get so caught up in the 3 that I said that I wanted to read, Nana, Hunter x Hunter, and Bleach, that I might just totally just get wrapped up in them and not read anything else. But I think that's it. I'm pretty sure nothing else is going to pop up for me to read. And if it does, I'm going to try to get it as an audiobook so I can just listen to the background. So yeah, so with that being said, how'd you like the video? Any of the books that I'm going to be reading this month, you will be reading this month, that you'd want to read this month, if you could, that you think that I should, you know, put to the top of the pile more than others, let me know down in the comments. Feel free to talk to me in that. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Talk to me on social media, talk to me in the comments. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.